Well, it's day 2 now. I've just woken up and looking at my watch, I've actually been asleep for 12 hours in the hammock, so that proves how comfortable it is. It's only the second time I've slept in it. The first time, again, when I tried it in the wood where I work, I slept for 12 hours that time as well. Obviously you wake up every now and again like you would in a bed, either through being uncomfortable or just changing your position, but yeah, 12 hours is a long time to spend, so I'd kind of figured that I'd already be pooping down the river maybe a couple of hours by now, so I'm slightly behind schedule. Yeah, this is the view out now. So you can just lie here looking up. No worry about insects getting in. You've got plenty of room above your head. All of this, probably a foot of room. Another nice looking day. Not sure what happened with the otters. Didn't hear anything at all. Wasn't woken up by anything in the night. So I'm gonna make myself breakfast now. I don't really want bacon and eggs, but I've got them with me. Then I need to pack up and then off we go. One thing I forgot to say about the hammock was the fact that I'm not using the tarp. Normally you'd have a tarpaulin strung above the hammock to stop the rain or anything moisture getting to you at night, because it was a relatively dry day. I didn't think there'd be a great deal of condensation, and because I'm not really over the top of any long grass, you're not going to get any moisture coming off that. The other positive thing about having the hammock is the fact that I'm only on a tiny little piece of, okay, the island's big, but the actual bit I'm sat over at the moment is only probably 3-4 square metres, and it's on a slope, so you'd never be able to put a tent up on this. I found a little plateau over there just to put the trangia, but other than that all of this is a slope, so canoe camping with a hammock has its benefits in that you can just basically stop wherever there's a couple of trees that are close enough apart, and also the ties that you have at this end and the other end of the hammock are really long, several metres long, so in theory you could have 2 trees that are maybe 8 or 9 metres apart possibly. I've never tried it that long. I mean, this is only how long would this be? Probably sort of 3 metres, 3 or 4 metres wide. So yeah, definitely try and get a hammock. I forgot to mention before I did the trip, I didn't have any of these canoe barrels. So luckily I looked on the internet and there's a company that sells them in the Forest of Dean, fairly close to Colford, at a place called Milkwall, Smiths of the Dean, and literally they open early, so my pick up at Monmouth, my Kenny's taxis were at 9 o'clock, went straight to this place, Smiths of the Dean, at 8 o'clock. They were already open, and got the barrels within 5 minutes, and off I went with no rush at all at Monmouth, so fantastic. And they're very cheap. These are brand new, they're not second hand, they haven't had Indian food in, so they don't smell. I can't remember the size of them, but I'll remember later, but basically it was 30 quid for the pair of them. So one I keep food and stuff in, and the other one clothes and the tents and the sleeping bags. Really useful. The other thing I forgot to say was I'm carrying 5 litres of water for every day, so I've got 3 of these 5-litre water bottles, and it saves taking a great big canister of water. It's more flexible, and if you need to move weight around the boat, then obviously they're small enough to keep shifting. But I've already found that I have used exactly 5 litres yesterday, and it's so hot that obviously you need to keep hydrated, so it caters for washing, drinking and cleaning. This is Hoarwithy Bridge, the place where I should have made it to last night but didn't. There's a fox cub. Oh, typical. Running along a log. This is still the bit of river between Hoarwithy and Ooh, Ross, about halfway. I had about an hour's lunch break, so I'm just setting off again. There's a bit more of a flow to it, this stretch of river, and the odd sort of shallow bit of rapid, which makes it a bit more interesting and certainly sounds nicer when you can hear the running water. Still haven't got to Ross. This is the section of the river between the third disused railway bridge and Ross. Ross is supposed to be a couple of miles from here. Might stop at the pub for a drink and a packet of crisps when I get there. And then beyond that, I need to find somewhere to camp for the night. I'm not going to make it to Welsh Bicknell. Not that I was going to use a youth hostel, but I was going to camp somewhere there. I don't think I'm going to get that far tonight. And again, there's no immediate rush because I've got an extra day if I need it. Just south of Ross at the moment. There's a bit of bounciness coming up. Only a tiny little one. It's marked as shallow, small rapid on the route. So this is where I lose the camera, no doubt. I'm 30 metres away from it at the moment. That's it, not much. Not as much excitement as I seem to get at the moment. It's 8:15 in the evening. It's day 2, the end of day 2. Paddling's been a lot easier today. The flow's been a bit more prevalent, plus the wind hasn't been as strong, so I haven't been paddling into a headwind like I have been yesterday, which was just knackering. Also I realised that on my forward paddling, my J stroke, it wasn't probably as effective as it should have been. I was spending far too much time after the initial stroke mending the line, and that was just slowing me down slightly, so I've sped up slightly, which has gained me momentum. Seen a couple of other paddlers, but obviously they were just on for the day because I haven't seen them again. What else has happened? It's quite a nice campsite here. Again, I haven't made as many miles as I should have done. Basically, I started off this morning between just north of Hoarwithy, and now I finished again south of Ross, but not as far as Kern Bridge, which wasn't my intention. I think I've stopped a long way short of Goodridge Castle at the moment. Yeah, the campsite's quite nice, sort of, well, it's relatively rocky, but I found somewhere level to set the stove up. Hammock is underneath that tree. It's not too many mosquitoes at the moment. The morning sun will come over in that orientation. But there's enough shade here, hopefully it won't wake me up. But what I don't want to do is oversleep like I did this morning and spend 12 hours in the hammock, even though it was really, really nice and comfortable. I need to get on the water to make up the lost miles. Oh, and by the way, this whatever it is, Mr. Ben's mushroom and chicken risotto is fantastic. Yum yum.